Check. What's up, guys? I think we're live. How y'all doing? What's up? How's everybody doing tonight? Got a new board set up for today. What's up, guys? What's up? Hey, Caesar. What's up? I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I had some bit of technical issues getting set up. I wanted to move this camera today, but I could not figure it out. So we're going to deal with it up here again, and this week I'll try looking into it. But appreciate it, Josh. Appreciate all you guys coming out. So yeah, today's board we set up a bit different, completely different than last week, really. I've got an Earthquaker Devices Tentacle. We've got a Fuzzlord Effects Drone Master. We've got a Magic Pedals Dunwich Amps Volt Thrower. Frost Giant Electronics 4 Horseman Massive. Earthquaker Devices Black Eye Boost. And then we've got a Ground Effects Burning Sun, which is a Model T preamp. Red Knob Model T preamp with JFETs. And Fuzzlord, the new Dark Master, and the Holy Grail by Electro-Harmonix. The Doom Screamer is a cool pedal, man. I don't have it on the board today, but yeah, so I was just trying. I got the Dark Master here this week, which has been pretty cool. I'm playing Geezer Butler, and I haven't played it in forever. I didn't look at the tab or anything. I just when I sat down here, I decided that's what I thought I would play, and so I tried to remember it for a few minutes. I don't know if I'm actually playing it right. Doom Screamer's sweet. Like I said, I don't have it on this board, but I think it's a great OD. And I love the Dark Master. So I like plug this thing in. Just I'm tuning to C standard again today, using the old SG 05. I had this thing. I pulled the pick guard from this thing this week and to show everybody how cherry it was originally, and it's faded so much. It's like almost an orange brown now, but I like how it looks. I left it in the sun for a long time. The most expensive pedal on the board. I don't know. They're all, this is probably $100, a couple $100 for each of these. 185 maybe. This is $100. That's a 200, just under. This Burning Sun, I think Ground Effects has a few of them for sale. Model T preamp, really, really good. We're gonna try that out. The Dark Master was a couple $100, so $200. Yeah, C standard tuning, guys, for this week. What song? Geezer Butler. There's a lesson for that up on the channel with full tab, if you want to learn that one. Yeah, it's more of a tape echo style effect. It's dark. It's kind of set it up to do the self-oscillation thing. Yeah, the Burning Sun pedal, I think it's $195. He's got a bunch of them. Ground Effects has them on reverb right now. I think it's pretty good. Yeah, so someone asking the pickups. This just has the stock pickups, so this guitar is pretty much stock. The pickups in this were the Classic 57 Plus and the Classic 57. So they're just the pickups that came in the guitar. They're Gibson's, you know, run-of-the-mill production PAF style pickup. They're probably low to mid 8s in terms of 8K ohms in terms of output. No, I'm definitely not going to paint this SG. That would be a bad move to refinish this. Yeah, man. The extra boost on the Darkmaster is pretty sweet. It's just one of those pedals. I got it, and I was super excited to get it, and picked it up on just a week back or whenever Jason had them for sale, and immediately it's just one of those pedals you just plug in, and I fell in love with it. So it certainly replaced the previous delay echo I'd had on the board. Charlie, what's up, man? Jay Mays, yeah, sick shirt. Witchcraft. This is an oldie, The Alchemist. It's a great record. But yeah, so I thought on the board today we would run the Tentacle is obviously the octave circuit in the Life pedal, and then the black eye here is the boost setup, or the boost circuit in the Life pedal. You can typically blend the octave in that pedal, whereas here you can't, but it's followed up by a rat. So I've got, you know, the Fuzzlord Drone Master here, which is their version of a rat, and then we've got the Dunwich Magic Volt Thrower, which is their version of a rat, and then I just threw this massive one knob fuzz in there just to have it. What's up, man? Yeah, Drone Beard. I was thinking the same thing, man. It's kind of got that echo reverb kind of thing going on, right? In the Dark Master. So it could probably replace your reverb. I had the same thought going through my head the past few days. Okay, we can do that again. So yeah, today I'm running again through that crush because it's got a cab sim built in. We're running just clean, obviously. No, I'm just messing. There's no real typical rat settings that I have set down there. I'm just messing around, stacking some stuff just a second ago. So we've got the SG going into the pedal board, going into an Orange Crush 20, $140 amp, right? And that's got a direct output that I'm running into my audio interface. You run it actually out of the headphone jack, and the headphone jack has a built-in cab sim. So that's it. It's just direct right into the audio interface, and that's all I've got. And it's, it's funny because sometimes when I demo with this amp, people complain that I'm not using a tube amp. No, it's not mic'd. Not mic'd. Just running direct. Like I said, the amp itself has a cab sim built in, so it's simulating a mic'd cab going into the audio interface. And it sounds good. It's just, the clean channel on this amp is nice, I think. I always run it with treble at 0, bass at full, mids at noon, and then I run the pedal board right into it. Yeah, so the amp's like 140 bucks, right? You can get them used for probably under 100 bucks. And I just think in terms of running a board and recording direct, it works pretty good. I've back-to-backed it. I've got back-to-backed it with some of my larger amps back there, running into like a torpedo captor or something. And oftentimes the crush does just as good. And like I said, if you're looking to just kind of hear the pedals, you know. I'm sorry about the board again. Let me, maybe I can do, board over here. Put me up here maybe. I don't know if that's any better. Yeah, man, the Crush 120s are great. You know, I'm not sure if they're entirely the same in terms of the preamp, but I think they're close. You know, both of them at least on the Dirty channel, the preamps I think are based on the Rocker Verb. But I primarily use this Crush 20 for the clean channel. But let's Hey James, thank you for the super chat, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna do some delay and reverb stuff. I've had a lot of requests for it, and so maybe this Dark Master would be a really good start. And these are what I'm using right now. I've got a few different delays and a few different reverbs, but I don't have a massive collection of those types of pedals. But we could certainly do some of that stuff. It's a weird question on the only have one fuzz, but I usually tell people a rat if I could only have one, and in which case I'd probably take one of these, Yeah, so obviously we're kind of running the life pedal setup there, You can see a volume drop when you Jason, thank you, man. Appreciate that super chat. Yeah, man, I love the Dark Master. I've talked about it for about 10 minutes here, but I think it's an incredible pedal. You did a really great job. A couple of us were chatting that, can almost replace your delay and reverb. Hey Scott, so this stuff is, this is all silent recording. I'm just running direct into the audio interface out of the cab sim output of the amplifier. So the only monitoring I'm doing here is here. Everything else is just silent. But yeah, this the Black Eye is a pretty awesome boost. It's MOSFET. It's pretty clean. I think it's very similar to the SHO style boost, and it's the boost circuit that they used in the Life pedal. You can get them right now. I've seen them used for like 80, 90, 100 bucks, and I think they're a really great boost, especially at the end of your dirt. They kind of just kick everything up and kind of kick the preamp in the face. Hey Nick, what's up, man? Dunwich does definitely not suck. Play. I don't know anything by Demon, and at the moment, anyways. We can play the Druid. Let's try this. Yeah. So, uh, Scott, I'm doing pretty good, man, during the quarantine. Just here with my wife and my kids and staying in as much as we can. I hope everybody is doing good out there. Hope you guys are staying safe. What else do we got down here? We haven't checked out probably this much. Chat, Nick, and I love your work, man. You designed some incredible circuits, and I'm proud to own a bunch of them. Man, Breakier, I appreciate that super chat. I have no idea how to play Antarctican's Thaw, though. I'm sorry. I've been working on this I Hate God, Jackass in the Will of God song for a lesson. That was Jackass in the Will of God by I Hate God. Hey Charles, what's up, man? Yeah, I think you're going to get a lot more versatility out of the Pog, I would say. Tentacle is pretty bare bones basic. analog green ringer. I wish it had a blend. I think it'd be pretty sweet if it had a blend, like they did on the Life pedal, which was a good idea. And I think putting that expression pedal on the V2 was a really good idea. Drop tune version of Iron Man. Just You mean like actually drop tuning? I haven't spent. I've got a couple acid bath tabs up on the Patreon page, but I can't remember how to play them. Like I said. Sorry, man, that's horrible. Son of Doom, what's up, man? Jack. That I Hate God song was Jackass in the Will of God. It's a song off of Confederacy of Ruined Lives, which was the, I feel like Jackass in the Will of God may have been the song that got me into I Hate God. That Confederacy of Ruined Lives had just kind of come out when I picked up that album as my first I Hate God record. And yeah, I have not got any better at playing Sweetleaf. I don't think. Bad. Yeah, so Jack, I don't know. I picked up that Confederacy of Ruined Lives. It was around that 2000, probably 2002 or something time frame. And I just remember Jackass and the Will of God hooking me. And I got dope sick after that. And then probably In the Name of Suffering. And just blew up for me from there. I hope you guys listened to the Jimmy Bauer interview. That was pretty cool to get to chat with that guy. And I hope you've listened to all the podcast interviews. Really chatted with Bobby Liebling last week and Jimmy Bauer the week before and Sammy Dewey a few weeks prior. So if you guys haven't checked out any of those interviews, definitely go check them out. Yeah, yeah. Someone mentioning "Take As Needed for Pain" is at the end of the day my favorite I Hate God record ever. It's one of the best albums ever. It's probably my favorite Sludge album ever. I don't know if they use the same riffs in the track "Southern Discomfort." Honestly, I think that that record is kind of a isn't it like a compilation? And that song, I'm not sure, but that's definitely "Jackass and the Will of God." "Lifer" by Down. I haven't played that song since I was 20 something, early. But I don't know if you guys have seen, it's pretty cool. Kirk Winstein from Crowbar has been teaching lessons on FaceTime. I think it's like 40 bucks for an hour. You can get a FaceTime lesson with Kirk. He'll teach you any Down, Crowbar, or Kingdom of Sorrow song. It's pretty rad. I'm trying to get him on the podcast. I think it'd be super fun to chat with that guy. Jason, thanks, man. I'm glad you liked it. Uh, they've all been really fun to do. Just trying to pick these guys' brains, I guess, and ask them the questions they don't get often asked about some of their classic recordings and maybe the gear they used and whatnot. That's what I've found, especially with Jimmy and Sammy, because we talked more gear, whereas Bobby, it was more general discussion. But I think they were excited to talk about the gear that they've used on all those classic records because they don't get asked about it a lot. So they're not exactly appearing and getting rig rundowns in Guitar Player magazine or anything. So it was pretty awesome to be able to chat with those guys about that stuff. I am a pretty big Crowbar fan for sure. Uh, and I do think, like I said, it's pretty cool that you can just get a lesson with Kirk for 40 minutes and he'll teach you any song. I'm tempted to just, go have him teach me a Crowbar song or two, or even a Crowbar song and a Down song, just to play them correctly, and see how he played them. Because I just think it's a really rad opportunity. And I'm glad to see him taking advantage of, the internet to be able to do that. I think it's pretty awesome. Yeah, that'd be cool, Jason. It's really cool. I think he does them on FaceTime. It's like just a FaceTime thing, so it's minimal friction. I think everybody, most of us can do some kind of FaceTime. James, thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, to interview any of those guys, Chris, Matt, or Al, I think, uh, or Rotor for that matter, I think any of those guys would be incredible. Al is the one who doesn't seem to give the most interviews, and I almost think he'd be the most interesting overall to interview. Even though I'm clearly, a huge Matt Pike fan, Matt's been interviewed a lot. Though I certainly hope to have him on the podcast at some point would be awesome. I just think being able to talk to Al for an hour or whatever, half an hour, would be pretty incredible. So Chris would be awesome too, just to get his story. I mean, I think the guys have told it pretty straight that he just didn't want to tour anymore, but it would be really interesting to get his take on obviously the Sleep stuff and the Ohm stuff because he's a hell of a drummer. Teal, I am using probably Ernie Ball Burley Slinkies, which I think maybe are 11 to 52. I'm in C standard tuning. And I did hear that. And they did at the same time have a video with Al come out when they did that rig rundown with Matt that kind of went over his rig in Bass Player Magazine. Sorry. Kill that massive for a second. Yeah, I was just playing Sonic Titan by Sleep. I don't know how. I think I remembered most of it. I don't know how. Volt Thrower by Conan. Jeez, I haven't played it in a while. And I don't really remember Holy Mountain, man. I'm sorry, but thanks for the super chat. Hey, Jared. What's up, man? Yeah, the massive, this version, the pedal boards of actual Doom BC 109 transistors, I think, are in that. That's a killer pedal. I think he's got a few of the purple Frost Giant Electronics. I think he's got a few of the purple Four Horsemen Massives left. I think it's 185 bucks. Good deal. Great fucking sounding fuzz. I love it. It's just one knob sounds awesome. All the other version sounds great. I think he uses silicon, and but this BC 109 version I think sounds awesome. I love that someone just mentioned Dave's World of Fun Stuff. Dude, Dave is so Canadian. It's amazing. I think he's from Winnipeg. I'm Canadian, originally from Canada as well. I love watching his channel. I cannot play Master of Puppets. I don't even know what the song sounds like. Yeah, I see Beholden to the Rift here. If you haven't checked out Jared's channel, you definitely should. He does some killer bass instructional videos related to the genre, and lots of great tabs, playthroughs, and you should definitely go check it out. I know you'll love it if you're watching this. He's a much better player than I am, so you'll get probably more out of it. I'm from Windsor, Ontario. I grew up in Windsor, Ontario, but now I live in North Carolina. Yeah, I learned a ton from watching Dave's videos in terms of my own guitar setup work. It's super entertaining. He's super entertaining. If anybody doesn't check out Dave's World of Fun Stuff and they want to learn how to kind of do some basic setup work on their guitars, you definitely should. And he goes beyond the basic stuff as well. Yeah, that's what I mean. Conan's a drop F, and I mean I'm in C standard, so it's be tough to get there. But I have I played Volt Thrower in the Volt Thrower demo, and I have a tab on Patreon, patreon.com/doesitdoom. If you want to see, let me see. So yeah, this is the Patreon page. If you want to come over here, I've got a few different membership options. $5 a month gets you tab for all of my YouTube videos in PDF and Guitar Pro formats. It's super fun to listen to some of this stuff and play it through Guitar Pro. There's like a $7 app for your phone, and the actual program I think is more like 70 bucks, but they do have a 30-day free trial. And so I tab all the lessons and a bunch of the demos. So Volt Thrower, if you want the tabs for it, it's there, accurate. And then some other options at $10 you can get. I do early access, so there's just videos hanging out there that have not been released, and we've got private Facebook groups and Discord servers for anybody who does Discord, which is super cool. We've got kind of a big membership base growing there. And then finally, this $15 a month. If you've seen anybody in the producer credits of my videos lately, that's there. But $5 a month gets you the tabs, and we're adding bass tabs. We've got going through all the lessons, and we've added the bass tabs for maybe 7 songs so far. But going through and just doing every lesson, guitar tabs, that's all done, and then bass tabs for everything. So you can see here, just we've got extra, backing tracks, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath backing track. We've got the acid bath tabs, like I was saying, for the blue, and you know, just a lot of additional content for $5 a month. So, anyways, you can check it out if you want. You don't have to. Not evil. I can't really teach you how to shred because like the maximum I can shred is some slow blues, so it would be difficult. That's kind of like all I got. I'm sorry. And I just came to terms with that, you know, over the course of my life. I can't shred, but, you know, I enjoy the blues, and that's kind of what I can play. Monolord. What should we Hey, Eric. How are you, buddy? So, I think, if I were to have a signature, this is the guitar that I feel like I've played the most over the years. This is the guitar I've had the longest. Um, but I think my first act custom shop would be a pretty cool guitar to see turned into some kind of signature guitar. So uh, I've seen a few guys who seem to be into trying to build them, and I'm excited to see what happens with that. But my first act custom shop, I think, is a super unique guitar. It's a guitar that I love, and it's a guitar that's kind of irreplaceable. As we all know, like all our guitars are irreplaceable, but it's just impossible to find one of those. So, um, if anybody's not familiar with Eric's channel, you should definitely go check it out. He does tons of cool, really high quality gear demos, and I think he just did a Fuzzlord FU2 versus a Boss Hyper Fuzz, really cool, and he's got some other cool stuff on there. So definitely go check out Eric's channel. Yeah, it's funny, the Devil on the Dope Throne album thing. Sebastian and Doom Metal. Thoughts on aluminum necks? So I've never played one, but Fuzzlord Jason here has a really cool video where he compares an aluminum neck and a wood neck. And I think in that video I slightly preferred the tone of the wood neck, although I think it's very similar. I've talked to Jason at length about them, as he's got a few of them now. I think he's got one by EGC, and he's got one by Obscura Manufacturing. And from what he says, the aluminum necks, he likes them a lot. They're very thin in terms of profile, which doesn't appeal to me so much. Like, I like a medium C to a 59 Les Paul style neck almost. So I struggle. I've sold most guitars that I've had that have had a really slim taper style neck. I've sold. I don't have any guitars left that have a slim taper, a true slim taper. Like this VOS SG has like a medium C, which is more like a true vintage SG than like the Gibson slim taper that's more of a D. And that's why I like this SG so much. Really, the neck profile is about perfect. And my Les Paul feels like about the same neck profile as this. My old SG from '65 has a very similar neck profile to this. And then my first act has more of a 59 Les Paul style profile. So for me, I don't know. Jason, I'll probably get him to send me one to try at some point. Yeah, I think you guys really went scientific on that video. It was a crazy comparison. I think people tout the aluminum necks having crazy increase in sustain. I don't know that you guys saw that. I didn't get that feeling from the video. There was maybe a slight difference in tone with the aluminum being a little brighter. That's what I got out of it. So anyways, if you haven't watched that video, I think Jason just put out another video where he has the Obscura neck on a Telecaster. But that comparison video, nobody else has done anything like that to compare that stuff. So you can believe internet lore or go check that out. And obviously the two guys who put it together here put a lot of work into it. I know talking to Jason after the fact, trying to get string distance from the pickups the same for both videos, I'm sure was not easy because the two necks could run at slightly different actions and whatnot. I was impressed that you guys even took the time to try and get all that stuff right. Hey Magic, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Yeah, I do follow Ola, for sure. I mean, I wouldn't say I watch a lot of his videos, but I follow him to just see what he's up to. Uh, Chris V, standard length versus baritone for your first guitar. I would probably play standard length. I don't know. I mean, I've never even played a baritone guitar in my life, and I'd say, many of us haven't, but I don't know. You're gonna have more options if you play a standard length, but I don't know. That's what I would do. I would do a Melvin song. I get asked to do a lot of that stuff, and I think I would do it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've reached out to Kirk from at a like I've messaged them on every platform, trying to not ask Jimmy or Sammy to kind of do it, but I may have to go there because I haven't heard back from him, and I do think Kirk would do it. So, uh, yeah, I want to have him on the show for sure, and Pepper would be awesome as well, obviously. But yeah, I want to interview both of those guys, and I would expect that I'll be able to somehow arrange getting them on the podcast. But it's been super fun interviewing all these guys and getting to just ask them these questions, and trying to when I do these interviews, I try and frame them so like everybody here in this chat try and ask the questions that I think you guys would want the answers to. And so before all the interviews, I always post and ask what questions you want to see asked, and I definitely go through those lists of questions and try and find ones that I think will fit into the question list that I have. I usually have a huge list of questions ready and just try and flow with the interview and see where it goes, and ask the right things at the right time to keep the flow going. So, but I just want you to know that I do look at those lists and I do try to ask questions people want to know. Hey Adam, I know Zero Caius. I always talk on here that like I'm so much more, always grew up more of a Doom Sludge guy. So people ask about the stoner rock stuff, and I don't know any of it. Like I don't know any Caius or Red Fang or, uh, what are the big stoner bands? I know Sleep, but I always considered that more kind of to the Doom side of things. And or Acid King, I get asked about a lot. I don't know any of that stuff. Uh, no, I have not listened to the last Ramstein album. Yeah, so this SG is a 2005 SG VOS Les Paul. I got it used many, many years ago for a good deal, really good deal actually, that I don't think you would ever see anymore. I think I paid $1,450 for it, so it's like a custom shop SG, and yeah, it's just a beautiful guitar. It's got like the smooth, I think like 62, 63 style neck joint where they kind of smooth it all out, and I think it's one piece mahogany body, all mahogany neck. It came stock with these chrome Grovers on it. Uh, I don't know. I've heard mixed. I've heard people say the boards on them are Brazilian. They were a Guitar Center exclusive guitar in 2005, 2006. So sometimes you'll see it as a Gibson Standard Authentic. Sometimes you'll see it as a 62 reissue. And sometimes as an SGVOS. But it was those years, 2005, 6 specifically, that they did them with these Grovers. Some have chrome and some have nickel. And like I said earlier in the video, it's got it's got classic 57 and 57 plus pickups and ABR1 bridge, all nickel hardware. They did some kind of weird like greenish aging on the pickups. The guitar itself was meant to have like a slight aged feel to it, but I've obviously played it a lot and dented it a bit. Like it doesn't come scratched up or anything. But yeah, man. So and I did pull the pick guard on Instagram the other day to show everybody just how cherry it was when I got it. It was much more of a cherry finish, but now it looks natural. And that is because I had that guitar rack back there in a different house in the corner in the sun, and so the guitar was on its side. You can see the back is faded too. Like the whole thing is just faded to this kind of brownish orange. But I had it in the corner there, and I just used to rack the guitars there. And for whatever reason, this one faded heavily. Like the Les Paul was there, and it hasn't faded at all that I can tell. And obviously the poly coat on the first act was there too. It hasn't faded. But this one with the nitro cellulose, I think a thin layer of nitro on it, it faded, and it has faded nicely. It has aged well. Yeah, I mean, I think that's funny, right? Like a lot of people love that part of the Bobby Liebling interview where he goes off about hating doom metal, and it was funny when I was kind of chatting to him before the interview, we got into that and how much he hates doom metal and finds it repetitive and plodding and not sorrowful anymore and more about just over like fuzz and gain and it was interesting to chat with him. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we could interview Ola. That could be cool. I mean, it's not something I've really considered. I don't really consider the main audience for this channel probably the same audience, but maybe I'm wrong. Uh, yeah, it's funny because a lot of people have seen that and now wondering how to fade the guitar. But like I said, this was in the sun for probably 8 years, and it was over the past few years I started to notice like, hey, it's not red anymore. It used to be cherry, and it's definitely not anymore. But it does look good for sure. I don't know that you could artificially do that in any way. You could see a lot of like what's funny is my Gibson from '65. A lot of the older ones do fade to this if people kept them in the sun. But like my '65, which I hunted down, is like super dark cherry still. I'm glad everyone liked the Bobby interview. I definitely enjoyed getting the opportunity to chat with him. Uh, as I've said, I wasn't sure how it would go over with people because obviously his past and whatnot and all the issues he's had. But I thought I got a good discussion in with him, and I was really happy with how it turned out. Yeah, be smiley. If you go on my Instagram, you can see I posted a picture the other yesterday of what it looked like. So I guess rather than talk about it, I can show you guys. I think if I fade that, you should be able to kind of see. And I take myself off here. You can see how cherry this guitar was when I first got it, and not anymore. Hopefully that helped. There we go. The Dope Throne Devil playing Dope Throne. It's funny because like someone said after they heard that they can't unsee it, and I'm the same thing. You know, it wasn't anything I ever thought of, but it's kind of funny. Hey Josh, so in this, like I've said, it's just Gibson Classic, Classic and a Classic Plus, just the stock pickups or just PAF style pickups, probably 8 something K ohms, maybe high 7s, low 8s, just basic PAF Alnico. I don't know if they must be Alnico 2. I don't think they're Alnico 5. Hey Jedi, yeah, man, I mess with germanium sometimes. I mean, these are rats and rat-based Fuzzlord Drone Master and Magic Dunwich Volt Thrower. This has a bunch of different clipping. I think it's got LED and silicon, 2 different levels, and Schottky and no diodes. And this Fuzzlord, I think, has a couple different, again, probably no diodes, silicon, and LED. And then this is BC 109 transistors. This is MOSFET-based boost, and that's that Burning Sun is a life pedal, or sorry, is based on the Red Knob Sun Model T. It is a preamp, kind of an emulation of the preamp in a Red Knob Sun Model T that uses JFET transistors instead of tubes. And he's tuned it. Ben at Ground Effects has a Red Knob Model T, and so it's been tuned to kind of do that sound. Yeah, so that's a Burning Sun by Ground Effects. I think he's got some for sale. I think it sounds pretty awesome. I don't know what you guys think, but it's not super high gain, and I don't think it really should be. That Dark Master is so fucking awesome. I love it. Jason, killer job on that Dark Master, dude. Awesome. Yeah, right? I mean, it just does. It's so killer. I don't feel like I'm into more hardcore leaning sludge and doom bands. Yeah, I mean, the Dark Master is just awesome. Like I said at the beginning here, the first time I plugged it in, I loved it, and I think you can all hear right now. It's awesome. It's dark like it should be. It's kind of an echo, reverb. Just sounds great. Just you killed it, man. I forget. I played. I don't remember. I mean, Bong Ripper's in F standard, but I was learning worship at some point. I don't know. I don't know any right off the top of my head. But yeah, man. But I do like this Burning Sun. I think it's pretty good. I don't know what you guys think, but it's obviously got the same control layout as your Model T with the volume here, and then I think you got your normal and bright, and then your treble middle bass. Yeah, I can't remember it. I should actually be doing the octave tuning thing. So for anyone who watched or listened to the Bobby Liebling interview, I talked about Victor's drop B flat tuning. And that's what he does. The whole guitar is tuned down a half step to E flat standard, and then he takes the 6th string and matches the pitch of the 2nd string, so that when you do those root 5 power chords, you get octaves. And that's why if you listen to Pentagram Relentless and you listen to songs like All Your Sins, they've got the octave thing going on, and with that low 6th string dropped to a B flat, which for 1982 to be kind of in B flat tuning is pretty fucking heavy. So that's why Relentless sounds kind of the way it does. There's a bunch of songs in that tuning. And I think Victor was using like 9 to 42 strings and dropping the 6th string to a B flat. But yeah, anyways, guys, I'm going to get going. So I appreciate everybody coming out to the stream tonight. And I'm going to probably keep doing these. If you guys like them, let me know. I think the name is Doomstream. I haven't finalized the name yet, but I'm gonna. And thank you all for coming out. Thanks to everybody who threw super chats out there and supporting the channel and just coming and checking out the content. I really appreciate it. So until next time, always remember, Tony Iommi is your friend. Stay safe out there, and we'll chat again next week. Later, everybody.